Hi everyone. Today I'm going to be reviewing two very different things. I want to say thank you. I saw a comment by Who Cares Anyway, which is really cool because I really like that book. So thank you for commenting. Um, so I'm going to be seeing two different things. We are reviewing Andrei Petrov vinyl, which is one of my favorite albums in history, actually. And it's from a film. We can do what we can do is we can sort of do a sub review. So we can. I will be reviewing the movie Office Romance as well as the soundtrack. I love soundtracks in general, and it does have sort of a darkness to it, which is nice. And it's called Knockout dot 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 in the third round. And this album is a various artist compilation album, and as you can tell, I really like comp albums. So we'll get into very hard to find with like Cyrillic script, especially online. Andrei Petrov writes a soundtrack for the film Office Romance, which is a pretty self-explanatory towards the plot. It's about a woman that's the head of an office. I think it's a press office, and basically she's been very distant from her romantic and sexual feelings towards men, and she's been really like buried in her work, which happens especially in modern times. So I think many people can relate to that. And she finds herself really pissed off with a fellow, a co-worker that's obviously much lower in the job hierarchy than she is, but she develops a soft spot for him because he tries to actually gain something from her in a bad way. She finds out she's very sad, but then he explains that he's actually in love with her. Anyways, I'm basically explaining the whole movie, but you should go watch it. I think it has some of the best, for me, like coloring, as well as color proportions within scenes in the film, and that's something that I think the Soviets did very well. Like the Soviet aesthetic, I think that's half of what built the Soviet Union's credibility and also nostalgia for further generations. Because I also have, I know it sounds bad, I don't mean it that way, but I have nostalgia for Soviet things, and I think that comes from a whole aestheticism that they built. Listen to it. The tones are so whimsical and they remind you of your first romance. The vinyl cover, I thought it was completely different on the Discogs listing, which is fucking fucked up. Like, don't fucking show me another like image if it's gonna be a Wham. Like, this looks like a Wham album. What the fuck. But anyways, I thought it was gonna be like the film poster, because that's what it showed on the Discogs. To find like copies on vinyl, so right now we're just settling with CD, which I don't know why I bought a CD. I mean, that's kind of fucking ridiculous, but it was like $2. So I was like, okay, might use it to scare off the birds or some shit. I don't know. And yeah, it's a German label called Knockout Records, and it has a sub label that I knew about that was Hellraiser Records. And Hellraiser Records carried people like Paul Fennec, who is a guy that sings in the various comp album that I'm talking about. And it's actually my favorite song. It's called "Fuck Jazz." It's a very groovy punk album. I love that. It's sort of reminiscent of the Cramps. A lot of the songs off of there, but they're just from very unknown, like German, borderline German / English spoken punk. It has, bands that I love, such as the Street Troopers, Charge 66. I was looking for the new theme song of the On Cinema On Demand that's like, it's the knockout. Where they try to make it like a Joe Rogan podcast, but I couldn't find it, so I just, I ended up finding this. The album is from 1998, and Knockout record label is still functioning, which is a huge achievement, especially on this channel, because most of the shit I talk about is out of function or defunct. Again, yeah. Also, I thought I messed it up because I thought Hellraiser was the same label that carried Anti-Theater of Fassbinder, but it's not. So whatever. There's a pro tip. It's not that one. If you were wondering, no one was. Yeah. Thanks, bitch.